Dear spectators of the human tragedy. In the dim light of this forsaken ruin, shadows dance like phantoms, whispering secrets of those who have vanished. I sit here, an anti-hero wrapped in a cloak of solitude, surrounded by echoes of laughter that once filled these walls. Absence, you see, is a cruel architect, building prisons of silence where joy used to dwell. It's a sentence imposed not by another's hand, but by choices made in the name of power, pride, and ambition. Imagine the lives left behind, scattered like ashes in the wind. Each moment they spent yearning for a presence now felt like a dagger, twisting deeper with every heartbeat. They wake to the haunting reminder that the warmth of connection has been replaced by an icy void. It gnaws at them, this absence, a relentless specter that shadows their every move. They wear smiles, but beneath the surface lies a chasm, a raw wound that refuses to heal. In this world where absence reigns, emotional voids manifest in ways both subtle and grotesque. A mother's hand, once eager to hold her child, now trembles as it reaches for nothing. Friends become mere silhouettes, fading into the background, their laughter a distant memory. Life becomes a series of routines, each day blending into the next, a monotonous cycle of unfulfilled desires and silent screams. The silence is deafening, a heavy shroud that suffocates the spirit. Absence, my dear audience, is not just a lack, it is a punishment. It lingers, like a ghost that refuses to be exorcised. Relationships fray at the edges, threads pulled by the weight of unspoken words and unresolved feelings. Conversations are reduced to fleeting glances, each one a reminder of what was lost. The bonds that once united them are now chains of regret, dragging them into the depths of despair. Reflect on this, the absence of one can eclipse the light in many. It is a dark tide that sweeps through lives, leaving destruction in its wake. The faces of those left behind become masks, concealing the turmoil within. They walk through crowded streets, yet feel the suffocating grip of isolation. In their eyes, you might catch a glimpse of the storm raging beneath the surface, a tempest born from neglect and abandonment. What of the choices that led to this desolation? They were driven by the thirst for power, a desire to rise above the fray. Yet in seeking dominion over others, they unwittingly crafted their own exile. The anti-hero's journey is a twisted reflection of their decisions, each one a stone thrown into the still waters of their existence. The ripples spread far and wide, touching lives in ways they cannot comprehend. Neglect breeds a cycle of pain, an unending spiral that pulls the absent deeper into darkness. They may wear their pride like armor, but inside, they are hollow. The struggle is real, a battle against the very void they created. In this darkness, however, there is a paradox, a strength that emerges from vulnerability. It is a lesson hidden in the shadows, waiting for those brave enough to confront it. This is where we find ourselves, caught in the web of choices made and the absence that follows. Time ticks mercilessly, reminding us that what we discard may never return. The emotional scars may fade, but the echoes of absence will linger, haunting every moment of connection that could have been. So here we stand, in the dimly lit room of our lives, facing the shadows of our choices. The absence is not merely a void, it is a testament to our human frailty. In this darkness, we find a reflection of ourselves, a reminder that every action has a price, and the cost of absence is a debt that can never be fully paid. In the shadows of ambition, the choices we make become the architects of our own demise. Pride, that seductive mistress, lures us into a dance of deception, where the rhythm is dictated by the heartbeat of power. Each decision made in the name of dominance carves a path of destruction, leaving behind a trail of broken relationships and shattered dreams. What was once a vibrant tapestry of connections now lies in tatters, each frayed thread a testament to the neglect we inflict upon those who dare to care. The absent figure, the anti-hero, wades through the murky waters of their own making. The thirst for power, intoxicating and blinding, drives them to forsake the very bonds that once defined them. In their relentless pursuit, they build walls, tall and impenetrable, each brick a choice made with cold calculation. Yet, within that fortress of solitude, they find themselves ensnared, prisoners of their own arrogance. The laughter that once echoed in their ears is now replaced by the chilling silence of regret. Consider the ripple effect of such choices. One act of neglect sends shockwaves through the lives of others, their pain reverberating in ways unseen. A child loses a parent to ambition, a lover to pride, and friends fade into mere memories. The anti-hero, standing amidst the ruins, realizes too late that every action creates a ripple, a disturbance in the fabric of existence. Those left behind are caught in the undertow, struggling against the tide of sorrow that washes over them. Each moment they linger in the absence is a reminder of the warmth extinguished by a selfish heart. Personal anecdotes of neglect haunt the corridors of their mind. Faces flash before their eyes, those who sought solace in their presence, only to be met with indifference. The echoes of laughter that once rang clear now serve as a reminder of what was lost. The anti-hero recalls a friend whose eyes once sparkled with joy, now dulled by the weight of abandonment. Each story intertwines, a web of sorrow spun from the choices made in the pursuit of power. The pain lingers, a ghost that haunts the corners of their psyche, forever reminding them of the cost of their ambition. What drives the absence? It is a desire for control, a hunger for superiority that blinds the heart. The motivations behind the absence are shrouded in shadows, obscured by the thrill of conquest. Yet, in that pursuit, the anti-hero unwittingly sows the seeds of their own isolation. The more they reach for power, the more they are pulled away from the very connections that ground them. It is a cruel irony, one that transforms strength into solitude, leaving behind a husk of what once was. In this twisted narrative, the anti-hero finds themselves grappling with the consequences of their choices. They stand at the precipice of realization, peering into the abyss of their own making. The void created by neglect is not merely an absence, it is a reflection of their own inadequacies. The struggle is palpable, a visceral battle against the darkness that encroaches upon their heart. Yet, within that darkness lies a flicker of strength, a resolve born from vulnerability. To confront the shadows is to reclaim a fragment of their humanity. As they navigate this treacherous terrain, the anti-hero discovers the profound truth that the choices we make reverberate beyond ourselves. The absence of one can eclipse the light in many, leaving behind a legacy of pain that lingers like an unshakable specter. Each decision carries weight, binding them to the lives they have touched, for better or for worse. In the depths of their solitude, they come to understand that the pursuit of power, when divorced from empathy, leads only to desolation. Thus, we remain caught in this cycle, a dance of choices and consequences, where the absence of connection becomes a haunting reminder of our human frailties. In the shadows, we find our truths, and in the echoes of neglect, we learn that the strongest bonds are forged not in ambition, but in the simple act of being present. The anti-hero's journey is a testament to the darkness that lurks within, a reminder that every choice we make carries with it the weight of eternity. In the heart of darkness, where shadows twist and coil like serpents, the void left by absence morphs into a gaping wound, forever festering. It is a hollow echo, a haunting reminder of what was lost, a chasm that swallows hope and laughter alike. Each day becomes a monotonous march through a landscape stripped of color, where the sun seems to hide behind a shroud of sorrow. The emotional scars left by neglect are not mere blemishes, they are deep, unforgiving gashes that throb with every heartbeat, each pulsation a reminder of the self-inflicted exile. Neglect transforms into a relentless cycle, a loop of pain that ensnares the heart in iron chains. It whispers sweet nothings, promising solace in solitude, yet delivers only the bitter taste of isolation. The anti-hero finds themselves trapped in this vicious cycle, a prisoner of their own making. They wander through life as a ghost, a specter of their former self, haunted by the faces of those they abandoned. The world moves on, but they remain tethered to the past, burdened by the weight of unspoken apologies and unfulfilled promises. In this labyrinth of grief, the anti-hero grapples with the raw edges of regret. Each memory is a shard of glass, cutting deeper into the fabric of their being, leaving them exposed and vulnerable. They recall the laughter of a child, once bright and melodic, now diminished to a mere whisper. A lover's touch that once ignited flames of passion now feels like a distant ember, smothered by the frost of neglect. These recollections are not just memories, they are wounds that bleed, festering reminders of the love they cast aside in the name of ambition. Yet, within this struggle lies a paradox, a twisted beauty in the vulnerability that emerges from the depths of despair. The anti-hero learns that strength does not always wear the armor of bravado. Sometimes, it reveals itself in moments of fragility. To confront the pain is to reclaim power over it, a defiance against the darkness that seeks to consume them. In acknowledging their scars, they find a flicker of hope, a glimmer of resilience that refuses to be extinguished. As they navigate this treacherous path, the anti-hero begins to understand the profound nature of emotional wounds. These scars, though painful, are also a testament to survival. They tell the story of battles fought, of connections severed and rekindled. The realization dawns that every scar carries with it a lesson, a harsh, unyielding truth about the cost of neglect and the value of presence. In the depths of solitude, they discover that the act of healing requires more than just time. It requires a willingness to embrace the discomfort, to sit with the pain until it morphs into something bearable. The cycle of power and loneliness intertwines like the roots of an ancient tree, each choice branching out into the lives of others, creating a network of connections that can either nourish or suffocate. The anti-hero stands at the crossroads, faced with the undeniable truth that the pursuit of power often leads to self-imposed exile. In their quest to ascend, they forgot the very essence of humanity: to connect, to feel, to be present. The irony is suffocating. The more they sought to dominate, the more isolated they became, ensnared in a web of their own design. Time, that relentless thief, marches on, indifferent to the struggles of the heart. It can either heal or exacerbate the wounds, a cruel jest that taunts the anti-hero. They realize that the scars of neglect do not fade with time, they merely shift, becoming part of the landscape of their existence. Each passing moment serves as a reminder of what was sacrificed on the altar of ambition, a bitter truth that lingers in the air like smoke, choking and suffocating. In this dark journey, the anti-hero confronts the reality that absence is not merely a void, it is a living entity, a specter that demands acknowledgement. It lingers, a ghostly reminder of choices made and paths forsaken. The emotional void is a testament to the lives touched and the hearts shattered in the pursuit of power. It is a punishment that echoes through the corridors of time, urging reflection and introspection. Thus, as they stand amidst the ruins of their decisions, the anti-hero knows that the path to redemption lies not in the pursuit of power, but in a courage to face the darkness within. To heal is to confront the source of pain, to learn from the scars that map their journey. In the end, it is the connections forged in vulnerability that will illuminate the way forward, transforming the cycle of neglect into a tapestry of resilience. Time, that merciless predator, prowls through the shadows, watching with a cold gaze as the remnants of our choices crumble into dust. It offers no solace, no reprieve, only the relentless passage of seconds that stretch into infinity. Each tick of the clock is a drop of venom, slowly seeping into the wounds of neglect, a reminder of the ghosts we've left behind. Time does not heal, it reveals, exposing the raw flesh of our regrets. It stands as both witness and executioner, holding us to account for the lives we've shattered in our quest for power. The anti-hero stands at the precipice of this realization, feeling the weight of the past bearing down on their shoulders like a shroud. Memories flood their mind, faded laughter, stolen glances, moments that once burned bright now flickering like dying stars. Each recollection is a specter, a whisper of what could have been, hanging in the air like an unspoken apology. The irony is palpable. The more they try to grasp at greatness, the more they slip through the fingers of those they loved, leaving only shadows in their wake. In this unforgiving light, they see absence not as a mere void, but as a relentless force, a haunting melody that plays on repeat. It lingers in every corner of their existence, a constant reminder of the warmth that was lost. Time twists the knife deeper, turning the absence into a living entity that feeds off their despair. It is a punishment that lasts forever, echoing through the hollow spaces of their heart. The anti-hero feels it gnawing at them, a ravenous beast that demands recognition, forcing them to confront the choices that led to this desolation. With each passing day, the emotional scars grow more pronounced, etched into their very being. They are reminders of battles fought and lost, connections severed by pride and ambition. The anti-hero recalls the faces of those they left behind, friends turned strangers, lovers turned memories, each one a fragment of a life once whole, now shattered beyond repair. The pain of neglect is palpable, a heavy blanket that suffocates any flicker of joy that dares to emerge. And yet, in this relentless cycle, there lies a cruel irony. Strength is born from vulnerability, and the darkest corners of despair can illuminate the path to redemption. As time drags its tendrils across the canvas of their life, the anti-hero feels the weight of their decisions. They begin to understand that healing is not a linear process, it is a labyrinthine journey, fraught with twists and turns. To confront the past is to wrestle with the specters that haunt them, to face the ghosts of their own making. Each step through this darkness is a testament to their endurance, a powerful declaration that they refuse to be consumed by their mistakes. In the quiet moments, when the world fades away and only the echoes of their choices remain, the anti-hero grapples with the paradox of time. It can be both a merciless judge and a gentle healer, revealing the truth hidden beneath layers of denial. They come to realize that the past cannot be changed, but it can be acknowledged and accepted. In this acceptance lies the power to forge a new path, one that honors the lessons learned through suffering. The scars of neglect, once seen as symbols of weakness, transform into badges of survival. Each mark tells a story, the story of resilience, of a heart that has weathered storms and emerged stronger. The anti-hero stands amidst the ruins of their choices, not as a prisoner of the past, but as a warrior ready to reclaim their narrative. Time has shown them that absence, while painful, can also be a catalyst for transformation, a dark seed that, when nurtured, can blossom into something unexpected. Ultimately, the anti-hero learns that it is not the absence itself that defines them, but the journey through the darkness that shapes their character. In the shadows, they discover the strength to face their demons, to confront the choices that led to their isolation. With each passing moment, they begin to weave a new story, one where the echoes of absence serve not as a punishment, but as a call to action, a reminder that even in the depths of despair, there exists the possibility of renewal, of connection, and of hope. In the hollow echo of absence, lessons emerge like shards of broken glass, glinting dangerously in the dim light of reflection. Each piece tells a story of pride misplaced, of choices made in the heat of ambition that led to a chilling void. The absence of those we once held dear becomes a stark reminder of the cost of our decisions, a bill collected by time with merciless interest. The anti-hero stands amidst this wreckage, feeling the sharp edges of regret cut into the flesh of their reality. Every moment of neglect, every turn away from connection, becomes a weight that drags down the spirit. It's not just the people left behind that suffer, it's the very soul of the one who chose power over love. This absence festers, transforming into a dark cloud that looms overhead, a constant reminder of what has been sacrificed. The echoes of laughter that once filled the air now sound like distant wails, haunting the corridors of their mind. The anti-hero knows that every friendship abandoned, every love overlooked, is a thread pulled from the fabric of their existence, unraveling the very essence of who they are. As they navigate through this painful landscape, the anti-hero confronts the brutal truths that arise from the ashes of what could have been. Pride, that insidious beast, feeds on ambition, blinding those who dare to chase it. The lessons learned are harsh and unforgiving, each one a reflection of the self-inflicted wounds that mar the heart. In the pursuit of power, they became a specter of their former self, a solitary figure wandering through a land of shadows, where once there was light. The power once sought, the accolades craved, these become hollow victories when the cost is the companionship of the living. The anti-hero recalls the faces of those who stood beside them, the warmth of their presence now a distant memory. Neglect, once a choice made with a flicker of intention, now looms large like a ghost, a whispered warning of the dangers of isolation. The laughter shared turns to silence, and in that silence, the weight of abandonment grows heavier. Yet amid the darkness, a flicker of understanding ignites. The anti-hero realizes that it is in this very absence that the potential for transformation lies. The scars of neglect become a map of the soul, leading them through the labyrinth of their own making. Each wound, once seen as a mark of failure, now shines with the brilliance of survival, a testament to the battles fought against the tides of loneliness. In this reckoning, the anti-hero acknowledges the strength birthed from vulnerability. They understand that the absence of others can illuminate the shadows within, forcing them to confront the truths they've long avoided. The journey through the darkness reveals not just the pain, but the power that comes from facing one's own shortcomings. It is a brutal awakening, a call to rise from the ashes of neglect and reclaim what was lost. The lessons learned are not mere whispers in the night, they are shouts of defiance against the silence that once reigned. Time, in its relentless march, has stripped away the illusions of grandeur, leaving behind the raw and unvarnished truth. It teaches that absence compels reflection, demanding that the anti-hero look inward and examine the choices that led them to this desolate place. With each lesson etched into their being, the anti-hero finds clarity amidst the chaos. They stand not as a prisoner of their past, but as a warrior forged in the fires of loss and regret. The absence that once felt like a punishment now transforms into a catalyst for change, urging them to seek connection, to embrace the fragility of relationships, and to understand that true strength is rooted in the bonds we forge. In the end, the anti-hero learns that it is not the absence itself that defines their existence, but the strength found in understanding its lessons. The darkness of neglect becomes a powerful teacher, guiding them toward a new path. As they emerge from this reckoning, they carry with them not just the scars, but the wisdom to seek out the connections they once forsook, a reminder that even in the depths of despair, the possibility of renewal lies just beyond the horizon. Power, my dear audience, is a double-edged sword, sharp enough to cut through flesh and soul alike. It glimmers enticingly, promising glory and recognition, but beneath its seductive surface lies a darkness that breeds loneliness. In the pursuit of dominance, one can easily become a king without a court, a conqueror with no kingdom to govern. The anti-hero stands before you, a testament to this bitter truth, the embodiment of a soul who reached for the stars and found only the abyss. Isolation wraps around the heart like a noose, tightening with each choice made in arrogance. The power once desired transforms into a prison, each brick laid with the neglect of those who once mattered. The faces of the abandoned haunt the corridors of the mind, their eyes pleading for recognition, for a flicker of warmth in the cold expanse of one's empire. Yet, power blinds, it casts a shadow over empathy, turning vibrant relationships into mere echoes of what they could have been. The laughter once shared is replaced with silence, an oppressive weight that sits heavily on the chest like a stone. The anti-hero knows the price of ambition, an exorbitant toll paid in the currency of companionship. Each decision to prioritize power over connection becomes a nail in the coffin of one's humanity. The cycle of neglect perpetuates itself, spinning out of control as the anti-hero grapples with the realization that strength and isolation are entwined in a twisted dance. The very drive that propelled them to greatness also shackled them to an existence devoid of true intimacy. The irony is cruel. In chasing power, they become a solitary figure, adrift in a sea of their own making. When the tides of fate turn, one cannot escape the consequences of their choices. The anti-hero stands witness to the unraveling of their own narrative, a tragic tale of how wielding power can lead to self-imposed exile. The thrill of domination fades, leaving behind a hollow shell where once there was ambition. The grand victories feel insignificant when the cost is the warmth of human connection. The throne, once a symbol of triumph, becomes a seat of solitude, a painful reminder of the bonds severed in the quest for supremacy. In this desolation, a painful clarity emerges. The anti-hero understands that every act of neglect, every moment of forsaking love in favor of ambition, has created a landscape of emotional despondency. The scars etched upon their heart are not merely reminders of battles lost, they are symbols of the resilience forged in the crucible of isolation. Each wound whispers tales of survival, resilience against the onslaught of loneliness. Time, that relentless specter, plays its cruel hand. It reveals the chilling truth: power cannot fill the void left by absence. It's a masquerade that eventually falls apart, exposing the raw, vulnerable core that lies beneath the facade of strength. The anti-hero reflects on the fleeting nature of power, understanding that it is but a mirage in a desert of despair. The victories become meaningless, the accolades fade, and what remains is the haunting silence of unfulfilled relationships. And yet, within this darkness lies the seed of transformation. The anti-hero recognizes their own capacity for growth, a chance to rise from the ashes of neglect and reclaim what was lost. The journey through the shadows is not merely a descent into despair, it is an awakening to the realization that true strength lies not in the absence of pain, but in the ability to confront it. The very power that once alienated them now serves as a catalyst for change, urging them to seek out the connections they once cast aside. As the anti-hero stands at the crossroads of choice, they confront the haunting truth of their existence. The cycle of power and loneliness is a narrative that can be rewritten, and it begins with understanding the weight of their actions. In this moment of reckoning, they embrace the shadows, not as adversaries, but as teachers, guiding them toward a new path illuminated by the flickering light of connection. The journey may be fraught with challenges, but the anti-hero knows that with each step forward, they reclaim a piece of their lost humanity, a powerful reminder that even in the depths of isolation, the potential for renewal always lingers. In the theater of life, each of us plays a role, often unaware of the script we write with our choices. The stage is set, the lights dim, and the audience watches as we navigate the intricacies of power and absence. I stand here, a figure cloaked in shadows, beckoning you to peer into the abyss of your own existence. For in this dance of light and dark, we must confront the choices that shape our destinies and the haunting echoes left in their wake. Absence, my dear audience, is not merely the void left by a departed soul, it is a palpable weight that crushes the spirit. It lingers like a ghost, whispering reminders of what was lost, taunting us with the specter of our own neglect. Reflect on your own lives. How many moments have slipped through your fingers like grains of sand? How many relationships have crumbled under the burden of unspoken words? The truth is, absence serves as a relentless reminder of the consequences of our actions, a punishment we inflict upon ourselves and those we leave behind. Consider this: every choice you make ripples through the fabric of your existence, shaping the lives of those around you. When pride takes the helm, it blinds us to the cost of our decisions. Do you truly grasp the weight of your arrogance? It builds walls around your heart, isolating you from the warmth of connection. The laughter you once shared fades into silence, leaving behind an eerie stillness that echoes in the chambers of your mind. Reflect on this. What have you sacrificed in your pursuit of power? What bonds have you severed, all in the name of ambition? The haunting truth lingers like a dark cloud overhead. Absence demands its toll. Relationships fray and unravel, and the emotional scars left in the wake of neglect become permanent fixtures in the landscape of your soul. The anti-hero knows this all too well, having tasted the bitter fruit of solitude. Each moment of neglect becomes a brick in the wall that isolates, a reminder that power cannot replace the human connection we so desperately crave. Do you see it now? The irony of strength that leads to loneliness, the bitter sweetness of ambition that leaves us yearning for what was lost. As you sit here, I challenge you to reflect deeply. Are you ready to confront the lessons woven into the fabric of your own absence? The truth is painful, but it is also liberating. Embrace the darkness that comes with understanding. It is in the shadows where true transformation begins. Each wound tells a story, a tale of survival, resilience, and ultimately, a chance for redemption. The anti-hero stands before you not as a mere product of choices made, but as a testament to the power of facing one's own shortcomings. Time, that relentless specter, has a way of unearthing the past, forcing us to confront the ghosts of our decisions. The longer we linger in the absence, the more insistent those ghosts become. They call out to us, demanding acknowledgement, begging for recognition. What will you do when the echoes of your past come knocking? Will you turn your back once more, or will you choose to face them head-on? This is your moment to reflect, not just on the lives you've touched, but on the lives you've neglected. Absence is a mirror, reflecting the choices you've made and the paths you've chosen. As the anti-hero, I stand before you, not to offer redemption, but to ignite a fire of introspection. The strength that comes from vulnerability is a force to be reckoned with. Embrace it. Understand that even in the depths of isolation, the potential for renewal resides. In this reckoning, let the haunting truth propel you forward. Acknowledge the weight of your actions and the impact they have on others. The cycle of absence and power can be dismantled, one choice at a time. Are you ready to rewrite your script? Are you prepared to confront the shadows that linger, to reclaim the connections you've cast aside? The journey may be fraught with pain, but within that pain lies the possibility for true strength, for authentic connection. So, as you step away from this moment, carry the weight of this knowledge with you. Let it shape your choices, guide your actions, and remind you that the absence you create is a punishment that lingers eternally. In the end, it is not power that defines us, but the connections we forge and the love we share. Will you choose to embrace the light, or will you remain shackled in the darkness of your own making? If you resonate with the chilling truth that absence can devour even the strongest souls, share this message to ignite a conversation about the shadows we all face. Leave a comment about a moment where neglect turned into a lesson that shaped your path, and subscribe for more provocative insights that challenge the status quo. Embrace the darkness, for it is there that true strength is forged, and justice, in its own time, will reveal itself. Are you ready to confront your own shadows?